Hi friends, welcome to My English. My name is Hira and today we will be discussing Writing Task 1 General. So General Training Writing Task 1 requires you to write a letter in an informal, a semi-formal or formal style with at least 150 words. In this lesson, we will be looking at the band descriptors with respect to letter writing, types of questions or types of letters. How do you identify the letter type? Which letter is to be written? We'll discuss some do's and don'ts of letter writing and the structure of letter writing. Duration to write a letter is 20 minutes and you have to write it in a minimum of 150 words. So don't write just in 150 words, write a little more than that. 170 to 180 is the ideal, but again, there is no upper limit prescribed to you. You should plan, write it and proofread it. Please spend your time judiciously. Let's take a look at the band descriptors. All of them carry 25% weightage. Task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource and grammatical range and accuracy. By task achievement, we mean you should do everything that you are asked for. So you will be given a question in the form of bullet points. Are you able to cover all the bullet points and you are able to elaborate on them properly or not? Are you able to give a full developed response? Then are you able to cover all the necessary points and are you able to write in at least 150 words is what we mean by task achievement. Talking about coherence and cohesion, let's talk about coherence first. Are you able to present your ideas logically? Are your paragraphs structured or not? That is coherence. Cohesion is write the points in such a way that they stick together, they make sense, they convey your message. Use standard expressions and transition words. Next is lexical resource. So that means are you able to use a wide range of vocabulary naturally, correctly, and fluently? Are you able to write correct spellings? Choose the right words. So even the word choice is important. Use the correct form of words such as verbs, nouns. Don't repeat your words too much. Coming to grammatical range and accuracy is you are able to write correct punctuation, capitalization, correct tenses, sentence structure, subject-verb agreement, use different kind of sentences, simple, complex, compound, and so on. So these are the band descriptors. As I said, they all carry 25% weightage. Now talking about the types of question or types of letters. There are three types of letters in IELTS: a formal letter, a semi-formal letter, and an informal letter. When you're writing a formal letter, the context is official and you may be writing to somebody you don't know at all. So that could be a complaint letter, an inquiry letter, an information letter, a suggestion letter, and so on. Semi-formal is when the context is official but you may be knowing that person. So that could be an acquaintance. That means you do not have a personal relationship with that person. So that could be your professor, that could be your boss, that could be your landlord. Informal letter is, the context is always informal. You may be writing to someone you know really well. That could be a friend, a relative, a cousin. So how do you identify what is the letter type? First thing that you are going to take a look at is who is it written to? So read the question carefully and understand who are you writing the letter to. If you're writing the letter to somebody whom you don't know, right, then it is a formal letter. The context is official and you don't know that person. So it is going to be a formal letter. If you know that person, not personally, but yes, you do know and the context is still official, then you write a semi-formal letter. But you know that person really well and the context is unofficial, then you write an informal letter. So who are you writing to is very important in understanding and identifying the letter type. Then yes, the right context. Understand the context, understand the purpose. It could be an invitation, it could be an apology, it could be an application, it could be a complaint, advice, request. If it is an invitation for a birthday party, then definitely it is an informal letter. If it is an apology to mom, to a friend, then it's an informal letter. If it's an apology to your boss, then it is a semi-formal letter. If it is a complaint about somebody that you really know, like maybe about your brother, you're writing an informal letter. If you're writing a complaint about a product that you received, it is a formal letter. Right? If you're complaining about the loud music played by your neighbors, then it is a semi-formal letter. So understand the context and who are you writing the letter to. That will help you identify the letter type. So formal letters are the business letter written to a person whom you don't know well and is usually written in a formal language. This could be when you're requesting information from a company, applying for a job, and complaining to a bank or a store or airways or railways, making some kind of recommendation or suggestion, etc. Semi-formal letters include complaining to landlord, explaining to a neighbor, asking a professor for some kind of permission. So these are to a person whom you have met or you've not met. So the context is official but warm, right? So that is an acquaintance. We have a normal hi, hello with that person. So we are going to write a semi-formal letter to that person. Informal letters are written to very close friends and they have features like slangs, abbreviations. But please do not use too much of informal or texting language like for you are doing this and love is LUV. Please refrain from doing so. Using the right tone influences your score. Okay, let's look at some do's and don'ts of letter writing. Make sure that the purpose is clear. Why are you writing the letter? It should be absolutely clear. The examiner must be able to make out what exactly are you trying to say when it comes to writing the purpose. The tone and language should be appropriate according to the letter type. The bullet points, there will always be 3 bullet points for each letter type. Make sure they're extended well in each paragraph separately. Do not mix 2 bullet points in one paragraph. So each para should have one controlling idea. Make sure the format is appropriate. Now let's take a look at the format. So how you write a letter, it could be for any letter that you're writing, formal, informal, semi-formal. Firstly, you should have a proper opening. Opening is salutation or greeting. Para 1 is purpose of writer. So it's not really a paragraph. It could be a one-liner only that you're simply stating why are you writing the letter. In case of formal and semi-formal letter, you have to be very direct. I'm writing this letter with regard to and so on. But when it comes to informal letter writing, you acknowledge the relationship that you have with the receiver and then you come to the purpose of writing the letter. Then para 2 will have the explanation of bullet point 1. You have to describe the situation with supporting ideas. Para 3 is bullet point 2, explanation with supporting details. Para 4 is bullet point 3, which is with supporting details. Then you write a closing statement. Closing statement is usually a conclusion or maybe a call to action. That could be, I look forward to hearing from you soon, or something like, please respond at the earliest convenience. I await your prompt service and so on. Then you sign off. Now, salutation and sign off are different for different letter types. This is some useful vocabulary that you can use for the different letter types. Formal, like we discussed, it is written to someone you've not met, whose name you don't know. And how you open the letter is you say dear sir or dear madam. How you end it is yours faithfully, put a comma and then your full name. That doesn't necessarily be your full name, but a full name is required. Semi-formal is written to someone you may or may not have met, but whose last name you know and use. So you write, dear Mr. Brown, dear Miss Stone. Yours sincerely is a sign off and you put again a comma after it and then you put your full name. Informal letter, it's written to someone you know well, whose first name you know and use. So dear John, dear Anita. So you're writing the first name. Then you can sign off by saying best regards and warm wishes and you just need to write your first name only. Now I'm going to discuss some important phrases and vocabulary for letter writing. Okay, let's take a look at the differences in the vocabulary items for informal and formal letters. This is less formal and this is more formal. So when you ask for something, you request. Sorry is apologize. Go up is increase. Went down is decrease. Set up is established. Look at is examine. Look into is investigate. Go against is oppose. Get in touch with, contact. It's about, it concerns, or in regard to. Need is require or necessity or requirement. Think about, consider. Get, obtain or acquire. Help is assist or assistance. Assist is a verb, assistance is a noun. Whole means entire. Enough is sufficient. About is regarding. Answer is respond. At first is initially. Buy is purchase. Cheap is inexpensive. Fix is to repair. I have to, I must, or it is necessary for me to. Kind of, sort of, very informal. You would say rather, somewhat. Let is permit, allow. Next or later is subsequent or subsequently. Okay, all right is acceptable, satisfactory. Tell means inform. That's why is therefore or so, thus, consequently. Wrong is incorrect. Start is begin, commence, initiate. Stop is cease and end. Start again, resume. Right away, immediately. Next or later, subsequently, consequently. Also, moreover. Seem, appear. Very, quite. Watch, observe. Work, function, leave, depart, come back, return. So these are some vocabulary items. You can look up the internet for more. You can use more vocabulary items which can be used in informal letter or semi-formal letter and in formal letters. Okay. Now let's talk about some important phrases that you can use for letter writing. Opening statement. You're saying, I'm writing this letter to inform you. Or I'm writing to bring to your notice, to bring to your attention, to express my dissatisfaction, usually in complaint letters. Okay, now making a request or suggestion. I would be grateful to you if you could. I would like to request you to. I would like you to. I was wondering if you could. If you could. I would like to suggest that. Asking for information. I'm writing to inquire about. I'm writing to find out about. I would like to know what I'm looking for is. Asking for help. I would be grateful if you could. I'd be grateful. You will use only in a informal letter because contractions are allowed in only informal letter, not in formal or semi-formal letter. So please avoid that. Then I would appreciate if you could. Could you please? I was wondering if you could help me. Now to apologize and saying sorry. I'm sorry about, I'm sorry that, I'm very sorry for. Please forgive me for, I would like to apologize. I would like to apologize for. Please accept my apologies. Please accept my sincere apologies is very formal. Now, complaining, expressing dissatisfaction. I'm writing to express my dissatisfaction. I'm writing to express my annoyance. I'm not happy about. Dash was very disappointing. Okay, expressing satisfaction. I was delighted to hear that. I was happy to learn that. I was thrilled to find out. Very informal. I was glad to hear. It was very enjoyable. Again, informal. Expressing concern or sympathy. I was sorry to hear about your accident or your illness. I'm writing to express my concern. Giving good news. I'm pleased to inform you. I'm delighted to tell you. I'm happy to advise you. Thought you might like to know that. Giving bad news. I regret to inform you. I'm sorry to tell you. I regret to advise you. I'm afraid I have some bad news. Giving reasons. This is because, this is due to, this is as a result of, this is owing to. So I hope this vocabulary and this lesson was helpful for you. I'm going to meet you in the next lesson where we will be covering the different letter types individually. Till then, take care and God bless. Bye-bye and have a nice day.